Hello and welcome back to the Pixel Street Podcast. This is episode 203 of the show, and this week we're going to be talking about Splatoon, video games,
Dude,
God of War,
it's been a
Nintendo,
massive
GoldenEye, John's pictures behind him. Who knows?
What about my pictures?
I don't know. I'm just saying that's a possibility. We might be talking about that this week.
We could. In all honesty, this has been one of the biggest weeks in quite a while. Definitely since E3, and in some instances, maybe even bigger than E3 time, or I guess Summer Games Fest because there was an E3 this year. Yeah, a lot of stuff happened in the past week.
Yeah, we had two event like what I mean there was a Nintendo Direct
There
and
was
the PlayStation State of Play,
and the
Tokyo
Ubisoft
Game Show,
Forward and Tokyo Game Show,
and the Disney Direct thing, whatever that was called.
Disney, and Call of Duty next today.
I didn't see what that was, but you're gonna be here to tell me all about it, I'm sure. So,
A lot.
so yeah,
We
we're
had
gonna be
six
talking about a lot of stuff.
showcases. Well, five showcases and one really big show with a lot of
Yeah,
other stuff in it.
and to be fair, some of this stuff it may be close to a week old at this point, just because it all of this happened since the last time we recorded. So, um,
I'm not
obviously
going
we're
over
gonna
everything.
yeah, we're not going to go over everything. We're going to go over probably the stuff that just excites us the most, and probably just some of the major announcements here and there.
Yep.
But yeah, as always, follow us on Twitter at Pixel Street. Check out our pinned tweet. You can find our YouTube channel there, where we are at 367 subscribers. So we would love to have you over there. We're posting pretty consistently now. John just posted an analysis video of the new uh, what is that game called?
Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, which is the Breath of the Wild sequel. Go check that video out. He's very close to 100 views. So, yeah, that we did a live reacts to the State of Play the other day. So yeah,
That one was
definitely.
boring until the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, for me they
Ugh.
were kind of both boring until the end, but we'll talk about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, also join our Discord group. We're doing pal party nights every once in a while. Me and John have been playing a lot of Splatoon 3. John, we played Splatoon 3 until like 3 a.m. that one day.
Were we that late? Well, I don't know. It
It,
was.
I went to bed at like I went and laid down at like 2:30.
No.
So I went to bed at like 3. So we were playing pretty late. But
I'll
we'll talk
take it.
about that.
Seems good.
We'll talk about that in a little bit. Um, yeah, let's just get into it. There's a lot going on. The topic of the show is Splatoon one of Nintendo's largest like IPs or franchises right now? They reported that it set the all-time sales record in Japan with 3.45 million sales in the first 3 days, which is crazy,
Yeah.
considering like in Japan, that's where Nintendo games strive, right? Like Fire Emblem comes out, I'm convinced that 80% of those sales are in Japan for
Yeah.
those games. Um, so yeah, I don't know.
But
What does this
real
mean?
quick, just think about what Splatoon 3 beat out with that sales record. Every single Mario game, every single, let's see, what else is huge over there? Every single PlayStation game. Like, this isn't just a Nintendo thing. This isn't just a Splatoon thing. This is every game series ever in Japan has not sold as much as Splatoon 3 did in its first few days. Animal Crossing, which is like one of the highest selling, I think it is the highest selling Switch game, didn't beat this in Japan. So like Splatoon 3 is setting up to become a sales juggernaut right now for the Switch.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we'll see where it sits kind of probably in the next like 6 months. Probably
Yeah.
see where it's at. I mean, if they even announce the sales for it, they technically don't have to, right?
No, they don't have to, but they will if it is successful. So, yeah,
And it
we'll
is already,
see.
so.
Yeah, I don't we'll get into this discussion, but yeah, I just wanted to point out that these sales numbers for Splatoon 3 are huge for it. For first of all, the game's third game in the series ever and the second one on Switch. Like that's massive.
Yeah, I wonder what it is because like I've talked to you before about how like I never played Splatoon 1 because that was a Wii
Same.
U game. Buying
Yep.
any game on the Wii U is like it's a hard sell for anybody. Like I owned a
Yeah.
Wii U and I didn't buy any games on it. All I bought was like Mario Kart and Smash, right? And that's kind of what most people bought it for at the
I
time.
literally have seen a Wii U in person, like outside of a store. I've seen a Wii U in person one time. That
That's wild.
that just yeah, no one had
Hold
them.
on, hold on. Small sidetrack is the Wii U was confusing as shit because me as somebody who loves games and everything, even when it was announced, I was like, "So is this just a Wii with like a tablet that connects to it?" Like it was very confusing.
That's what everyone thought. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, Splatoon 1, so that's why I never played that. Splatoon 2, I never bought when it first came out, mainly because I never played Splatoon 1, so I was like, it's probably not for me. Like, if, I don't watch videos on it or anything, really, like, why would I buy it?
Hmm.
But then after hearing people talk about it, I looked into it more. I ended up playing Splatoon 2, I want to say like a year or two after it came out, is when I picked it up for the first time. And I love the gameplay of it and everything. I feel like I didn't play it that much, mainly because at that time it was like everybody was done with the game, more or less. At least anybody I would play the game with.
Yeah.
And it's not really to me like multiplayer games like that are not fun to play like for extended periods of time if you're playing solo.
Hmm.
Very similar to why I don't play Pokemon Unite anymore because like you'll just get destroyed in that game if you're playing solo all the time. Um, but yeah, so that's why I picked up Splatoon 2 when I did. I wonder if that's kind of the same like thought process of other people. Like, and now Splatoon 3 came out. I went and bought it the day it came out last Friday. I
Hmm.
drove over to Target and picked it up because I love Splatoon 2 and I just wanted to ride that hype train.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I got into Splatoon 2 like 2 years late, and I had only gotten it because I was working at GameStop and they were having a massive sale on it. It was like $15, which never happens for any Nintendo game. So I was like, yeah, I'll buy that.
Honestly,
And then
that may be
I
why
liked
I
it.
picked it up too because it was on
Yeah.
super sale.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where I'm jumped off with it, and I got a code to play it, but if I didn't, I definitely would have bought it for the full $60 because I just enjoyed the game that much, and also there just really hasn't been. It's blurring out. Oh,
Yeah, I
oh,
know.
a little better.
I'm just gonna keep moving it so it doesn't blur.
Yeah. It yeah. I think we might have talked about it a little bit, or no. The game came out after we recorded last. Um,
Yeah,
the game is pretty much just more of Splatoon 2,
I
which
think
is not a bad thing.
it's not a bad thing, but I think that's where I have issues with it. Is that it basically is the same game with like different weapons, right? You can unlock
Mhm.
more stuff. So it more to me feels like DLC for Splatoon 2. But in all honesty, like it's not a bad thing because they're just trying to get more people into the game.
There's also a lot of big fixes here. For one, the party system.
Yes.
It's still not the best thing out there, but it works and you can get into games with friends. You don't have to go through the awful, all right, I'm going to join your game late and hopefully the next round I'll be on your team, but I might still be put on the other team. So the lobby system is great. I really like it. Salmon Run being here full time and being expanded on is awesome. I love Salmon Run. I never got a chance to play it in Splatoon 2 because it was a limited time event and they just never brought it back after one point. They're like, okay, this is it. We're not doing this anymore.
That's so weird to me.
It's so weird. But they wised up. They made it a full time event in Splatoon 3, and there's like some limited time stuff that's coming down the road to like play into it. That stuff's awesome. And there's a new campaign. I haven't tried the campaign yet because I just don't care about Splatoon's story, really. Like,
What is the story? Like, do you
it's
have like a general idea?
so in this one, it's called The Return of the Mammalians. So in the world, it's supposed to be a post-apocalyptic world that they're in, post-apocalyptic Earth. The world like flooded from radiation and global warming and wiped out the human race, and now the Inklings and Octolings are like the main human-ish people of the planet. And in this one, I guess some kind of mammals are coming back and messing things up. That's really all I've got out of it. Um, yeah, I don't really care about that. I prefer the PvE and the PvP stuff in this game. So that's really all I care about, and I think both entries there are great, and I can't wait to see what else comes in the future.
Yeah, Salmon Run is really cool. Like for me, I much more prefer the PvP play. The playing PvP in the game, but Salmon Run is still a ton of fun to jump in to take a break. Like that. So me and John, so we're kind of like merging what we've been playing with this, just because that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We played. I think that I like. Oh, you saw I was on Xbox, right? And I was about to get
Mhm.
off because like my friends I was playing with got off. And you were like, "Yo, you playing anything?" Or no, I asked you if you wanted to play GTA, but your brother was on your Xbox, and then you hit me up like
Mhm.
an hour later, like, "Hey, you still want to play something?" And we played Splatoon 3. It was until like 2:30 in the morning, I think. And we lost like every fucking game, right?
Oh man,
It was
but
it
we
was
were still
bad.
having fun, man. Like
Yeah,
it, it. We were competitive and everything. Yeah, we. I think we won 2 matches the entire night,
yeah.
and we were playing for like 3 hours.
But
And
but
these
we also
these
did
are like
Salmon Run,
3 minute games. We did Salmon Run as well, which was fun. Yeah,
and we
I
beat that final boss in Salmon
yeah.
Run.
King Chorozuna or something like that. I am getting to a point now that I've played Salmon Run enough that those levels are legitimately getting hard because as you rank up, the levels get harder
Oh,
and
really?
harder. Yeah,
How does that work
and
if I queue up with you? Does it go to
it
your
will
rank?
no, it goes to the lower player. So when we
Cool.
play, I won't go up, but you will. So you'll like catch up to where I am if we were to
That
play
kind of
together.
sucks for you though.
It makes sense though. Like you don't want someone who's like really high rank to get easy points by playing with someone who's like barely played at all. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'm legit. The last game I played earlier today, uh we just barely made it. Like we were just constantly going down and picking each other up, and it was tough. And that really just adds into the fun of it, I think, because the first few times it's really okay, yeah, I can see how people like this, but it is, I won't call it easy, but it's very, I don't, it's not challenging at all once you first get into it. But now that I have this challenge, I'm like, okay, this is kind of pushing me to keep getting better at this and progress even more. So yeah.
Yeah, so I just had a thought, and I tried playing this game handheld when I first got it last Friday because
Hmm.
I was still working, and I was like, well, I want to play a match. It takes like 5 minutes, right? And I was playing with the Joy-Con on the Switch. Dude, my fingers were getting so cramped up. Like, this
Oh
is not
yeah,
the kind of game. If you're a fully grown man, this is not the game you want to play with the Joy-Con
Mhm.
attached to the Switch. It like
I
cramped the
think
shit out of my fingers.
I haven't had anything like that. I've been swapping back and forth pretty regularly, because I have to get my footage through my TV, and then at night I'll play it in my bed, handheld. So yeah, I haven't had any cramping issues, but I also play with the Joy-Con a lot more than you do, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, and it goes back to my thing. I never got the Fixture S2, right? Austin was on the podcast,
You didn't.
announced the Fixture S2,
You
and
got to get it.
dude, it's not available.
Make it available.
It like
It'll.
every time it comes available, I miss out on it.
You poor
Um,
poor man.
so yeah, I got to get that so I can use my Pro controller because I only play with the Pro controller. Like when I'm
It's
playing
such a
on my
good
TV,
controller.
got the Pro controller.
It's a good
Um,
controller. Good job.
yeah, that's great. I'm surprised you didn't get the Splatoon version. I didn't get it, but
No, I I only need one. I'm not buying
same.
another
I have
one.
two Pro controllers, and I think I bought them because like there was a price error, and I got them for like $30 each.
Gotcha.
So I was like, might as well get two.
Mhm. All right. So focusing on Splatoon here, its success. Do you see this as a jumping off point for the series going forward? That it could become like one of the first Nintendo franchises you think of, up there with Mario, Zelda, Kirby, Mario Kart, Smash? Do you think that there could be a
I
future with that?
I think it depends on like what they do next, right? If they come out with Splatoon 4 and it still feels like DLC for Splatoon 3, like I feel like that's not good enough. I'm curious if they do other things with the IP. Like you mentioned, Mario is in like has all these different like or Zelda even. Like there's different kinds of Zelda games, right? Like they're all more or less follow the same thing, but they're slightly different. Like what if there was like a Splatoon side scroller or something like that, or a platformer? You know, who's to say that they can't do something like that with the IP to like
Hmm.
kind of broaden it more? Because like at the end of the day, like not everybody wants to play like a competitive shooter, which is more or less what this is. You're not shooting people, but
It
it's a
is that
competitive PvP game.
it is, but it is the least competitive shooter out
Yeah,
there.
but it still is. I don't know.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I don't know. I see it being pretty successful. I don't see why it would drop off for any reason.
I
I think that they can only use the same formula for like one more game and get away
mhm.
with it before people are like, okay,
I think it just needs to grow. That's the thing. They need, like, for one, they need more
more than
game
two
modes.
maps, more than two
More game
maps a
modes.
day.
Take away the map rotations because oh my god. And it's not per day, it's like every like 2, 3 hours, something like that.
It's
But it's
still.
still it's ridiculous. I'm
I
with you
mean,
100%.
when a match can take you as little as like 3 minutes, or like the maximum is like 3 minutes, right?
Mhm.
It gets really stale to play
What
the
was
same
it?
two maps for 2 3 hours.
When we were playing that night, we didn't even get the second map for a long time. We had like
Yeah,
7 straight games on the same map. And it was like, God, I'm just tired of this one already. Yeah, no, there's still areas for it to grow and to improve. And I think that's probably what's most exciting about it for me because I think this is the best Splatoon's been so far. I think it's way better than Splatoon 2 and I enjoyed that game. But I still can recognize, yeah, there are definitely areas that it needs to improve and get better. Hopefully they do that. And if they can pull off some spin-offs and everything, that'd be awesome. I don't know really where they would go with it. I don't think I want a 2D platformer in Splatoon.
I don't think I do either, but like they got to do something to broaden it, right?
Yeah,
You can't just keep making the same game. I guess they are in Mario Kart, so that
I
kind of
haven't seen
counts.
that. But like that's just completely different.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Let's move on, John. We had a PlayStation. Sorry, we had a PlayStation State of Play. Was that yesterday? 2 days ago. 2 days
2
ago.
days ago. Yep.
Which was Tuesday, the 13th. And they showed more God of War Ragnarok footage. We got a new kind of like it was more story driven, right? Like it kind of told you what the story was in a way. Um, not entirely, but like it was more than what we've gotten in the past.
Yeah, I guess yeah.
We saw more of like the cinematics, right? We saw at the very end,
We
Kratos
saw
kind of
combat for the
yeah.
first time, I
We
feel.
saw we saw Kratos fighting fucking Thor a little
Thor. Oh
bit.
my god. I'm so
Really
excited for
cool.
that fight. That fight's gonna be
That
so cool, man.
we saw the scene where Atreus shoots a fucking arrow at the like the eclipse, and it like I don't even
Transition
know
everything. I
it.
don't
Yeah,
know.
like it like changed everything. Like, and I told John at the time I was like, it's like Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, where it's like they went through a rift or something. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, right next to Fenrir, which was so cool, man.
Yeah. And then we also had the Nintendo Direct, which showed, in my opinion, the only interesting thing was the Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom uh,
Yeah, that
deep dive. Not
I
deep dive, but
if you watch my
deeper dive.
analysis video, there is so many questions coming out of that trailer. They're like, "Hey, you got questions about what's going on in this story? Here's some more." I have no idea where we're going with this story yet, and I am so excited, man. I can't wait. But
John, what you're still gonna help me beat Breath of the Wild, just so I can
you
say
gotta
I
play
beat
it.
it.
Yeah, you gotta
I
play.
told you I've killed all the divine beasts. I've done it
Okay,
all.
all
Or
right.
do you kill
But
them? I don't
it
even
is
remember at this point. You don't
that
kill them. You
you kill the
you take
bosses
their
inside
power.
them and they get
Yeah. Okay.
damage of them. Yeah. No, you need to set up a stream and we'll play Breath of the Wild. But
I am curious what your thoughts are on the fact like, what if this is just the same map from Breath of the Wild, but there's like chunks thrown into the sky?
that's what it is.
Because that's kind of what it looks like.
That's what it is, yeah. And I am ecstatic about that. I think there will be new portions of the map also included, but yeah, we've seen a lot of similar areas that we were in Breath of the Wild, except there's a lot more floating islands. there's a hint in this trailer that there may be 7 dungeons that we go into,
Yeah, I
which is
saw you
very
mention that.
exciting. Yeah, I'm very excited about this. That
There
world
weren't
is just
really.
great. Like, I
The,
don't care if we're seeing the same map. That map is really fucking good, and it was a lot of fun to explore the first time. Change it up a bit and let me go back in there. I will lose hundreds of hours again.
do you think it's like 5 years new though? Like the first game came out 5 years ago. You think like it looks like they put that much work into the map?
Well, we haven't seen enough of it yet.
True.
But we do know there will be like new areas to go to with like underground areas, and then also if these temples are really a thing, they're probably like floating temples that you go into. Yeah, no, I'm very interested to see what's coming out of this. Um, by the time that it comes out, it will be 6 years since Breath of the Wild release. So
That's
yeah,
crazy.
hopefully I have enough faith in Nintendo that they are going to change up the map enough to make it feel new again.
That's wild.
Yeah.
6 years. That's a long time.
Mhm. I know. I've been waiting. So yeah, for both of these trailers, Joel, what stood out the most to you?
That eclipse scene, man. That was really fucking cool. I like. I
Yeah,
can't wait to. I can't wait to see that on my fucking LG OLED TV. It's gonna
yeah,
look so badass.
yeah. There's definitely going to be a lot of cool imagery in that game. I think I'm just so happy to finally see combat in that game because I feel like all they've shown us to this point was just like Kratos and Atreus talking, and like not much else. Like there's been like quick snippets of like Freya attacking Kratos while he was on like some kind of sled or something. But this was the first trailer I feel that we actually saw him fighting. Like he was whipping around the chains of chaos and or blades of chaos and all this other stuff. Like that is the stuff I'm excited about. The fact that we actually saw like the beginning of a fight with Thor, like that's amazing to me. And then we heard Odin talk about a war coming with Kratos. Like that's a lot of exciting stuff that we've been waiting and wanting to hear about, but we just haven't had anything like that to really latch onto for us this year. Like that's the reason why I kept saying for the longest time, I think this game's getting delayed because we were just hearing absolutely nothing about it. Now we're 2 months away from release and we finally got something. Um, I'm do you think there could be a state of play again where they really go into the gameplay like a month before?
It's hard to say. Like, I mean, they did it with Horizon,
They
so
did.
I mean, it would make sense that they would do it with this. This probably being the bigger IP, right?
Definitely. And also
So
there's still like a lot of things we don't know about. Like, yeah, we saw like them fighting, but we don't know, are there new combos? Is there a new gear system? Like what is going on around those mechanics and everything? We just
yeah,
don't
I
know
have
a
I
lot.
have B roll up, and there's actually a scene where they're like fighting people in space.
Oh, was there? I don't even remember that.
Yeah,
That
same.
might
I just
yep,
saw it.
that might be after that transition thing or something. But yeah, it's
No, it's before in trailer wise. And
yeah.
honestly, I don't know. It might just. Oh no, they're legitimately fighting like a boss in space, which
mm, Well,
is fucking
it's probably a
so
realm.
questionable. Yeah,
It,
like
it's
who knows
it's a
what's
realm.
going on.
But yeah, no, it's man, I yeah, this is God of War Ragnarok is definitely one of the games I think is I without even playing it, I could see that easily becoming my game of the year for this year. Right now, for me, it's Kirby and the Forgotten Land, but there just really hasn't been anything else.
Oh,
I
you mean
don't.
it's not one of the other like 5 Kirby games that have come out this year?
Yeah, no kidding. Um, yeah, this is the big release for this year for me. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, no, this is definitely the big release this year for me as well. I love the
Mhm.
first game. Well, first game being the 2016 game. Um, so
17.
yeah, I am 2017. Yeah, I'm so excited for this.
Wait, no,
And you know what, John? It
it's
came out.
28.
All right, it
It
came
came
out.
out. Yeah,
But you know, yeah, I'm so excited. But the only downside, John, is my wedding is the weekend it comes out. So
yeah.
I'm not going to be able to play this game for weeks after it comes out.
I know that really
Weeks.
sucks for you. Gonna
Yeah.
be real sad when I spoil it for you.
I will literally go on, like, blackout mode, like, I will delete Twitter from my phone, because I know for a fact that, like, there's gonna be people that are just, like, posting spoiler
Oh yeah, 100%.
we know people, we know a mutual person who will, like, just, like, post a picture or something, and then he'll be like, "Dude, what the fuck?" He's like, "Dude, that wasn't a spoiler." It's like, "Yeah, it was. I didn't even know that person was in this fucking game."
Who are we talking about?
You know, I can't tell you. You know.
Is
But
it
let's move
me? Are
on.
you talking about
No,
me?
no, I'm not.
All
But
right.
yeah, Tears of the Kingdom. What what if it came out and they're like, actually, it's called Tears of the Kingdom?
Nah, it's tears.
Yeah, I know it is, but that'd be pretty funny.
I did see a lot of people confused. They're like, "Is this tears because it's tearing the land up into the sky?" I'm like, "No, it's tears. Like those are tier markings. That they're tears."
Could be a tear. The
It's
game could
not
be a
though.
tear.
I want to say that they also. I think I saw someone say like the Japanese pronunciation was like the equivalent of like crying tears
I'm curious how this title spoils the game.
because
Bec-
they didn't want to spoil the Queen's death and London's
okay, no,
dismay.
John, that's a made up fallacy. I'm curious. I really want to know. I My theory is that they didn't know what it was going to be called yet. Finally, so that was just like their way of putting it off.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really hard now. I I think they changed the name. They had to have because from what they've given us, there's been no hint that Tears of the Kingdom would be a spoiler by any means. Like even when they showed Zelda falling into a black abyss, and you're like, "Oh, is she dead or not?" Like, no, they could have just said it then, and it wouldn't have been a spoiler even then. So like, I don't I don't understand. They had to have changed it. Like it just has to have been a different name.
Yeah, I don't know. Courtney Love in the Twitch chat says, "Will Tears of the Kingdom get re-released for a new console if we get a new one?"
Like a Switch Pro? No.
Yeah, or I don't know, whatever the next Nintendo console is that's Switch equivalent.
I mean, if there's like whatever the equivalent of an HD port at the time, maybe, but no, I know there's some people talking about is there going to be a Switch Pro, and I don't think so. Not with the
They
OLED releasing a year ago.
Yeah, people have been talking about a Switch Pro for years at this point. And then when they announced the OLED, I feel like that kind of put those ideas at rest,
Yeah,
because it just
no,
shows like what they were actually working on.
no. I think it'll just be one game and it's fine across. I don't see any like big upgrade coming from the Switch anytime soon. Yeah, I'd be fine with being wrong. I'll buy an upgrade. Mine is I still have the day one Switch and the kickstand on the back doesn't like click in anymore. So like when I'm holding it in handheld, it's just falling off all the time. Um yeah. No, I don't see another version of this
John,
coming.
I will say, if you ever do get a new Switch, do not just like trade yours into GameStop, because there's a market for people that want your Switch.
Yeah, it's
Because
me.
no,
I want my Switch.
I'm saying because it's moddable. Like those OG Switches, people mod,
Oh,
so
yeah, I
you
don't
could
see
get more
myself.
for it on like eBay if you were
I
to trade
love
it
this
in.
console enough. I don't see myself ever selling it. I'll just buy another one and just have an extra Switch.
For Switch. Moving on, GoldenEye 007 is coming to Switch and Xbox, but only the Switch version has online multiplayer. The reasoning behind that is because the original it's not a remake by any means, right? It's just a
Nope,
remaster.
not even
Um,
that. It's a port.
it's a
You could kind
port,
of call it a remaster,
yeah,
but
because
it's largely it's a port. They've kind
yeah,
of touched up the graphics on the Xbox version, but the Switch version is pretty much just the N64 game.
which sucks because like I want to play the prettier, more FPS version of the game online with people, right?
Hmm.
Not the N64 version with Nintendo Online, which 8 out of 10 times you play is pretty garbo.
Yeah, we'll see how it works with GoldenEye by that point. It's exciting to bring it back and that there is a way to play it with online multiplayer. But really, GoldenEye 007 is one of the worst aging games from the 90s, which is really saying
No,
something.
I'm aware. Like
There
the
are
faces and stuff. They're it's
not
pretty
just
bad.
that, the controls are awful. That
Well,
game
yeah,
is
the N64 controls.
yeah, but like it doesn't work when you translate it over to a controller from today. Like it's not going to play well. There's going to be a lot of people that play this game and they're like, "Oh wow, this ruined my childhood" or something. Just wait. It's going to happen a lot. You're going to see a lot of that on Twitter. Regardless, this is one of the biggest high profile FPS games ever, which is huge that it's finally coming back. Mega disappointing that they didn't do any work to it to one, give it online multiplayer natively, and two, fix up those controls because everything I just said. The only reason why the Switch has online multiplayer is because of the emulation in the N64 app. Like it's pretty much emulating a game, a Nintendo 64 console playing split screen. You're not like it's not like going over like how most games do multiplayer online. Um, yeah, it's a messed up situation. I cannot believe that Xbox did not. I have to think that someone on that team working on this was like, "Hey, we should probably put some online multiplayer on this or something." Like, I just don't get how that didn't happen.
You know what's weird to me is like I want to say it was over a year ago, like maybe even two, that the achievements list for this game leaked online. Do you remember that? Like there was pictures for the achievements and
That
everything
was earlier this year, but
for
yeah.
GoldenEye 007. And like what took so long for it to actually come out? Like how does that leak so early?
What I think happened is they were probably it was probably delayed while they were working with Nintendo to get it on the Switch. That's just my theory. Obviously, I don't know for sure, but there was probably some kind of complication in actually getting it to work online and everything through their infrastructure because it's completely different from what Xbox is used to for their like for those like classic game stuff. Um, there are some cool things about it on Xbox. Of course, we have the achievements. Uh, I think it's 120 frames a second,
I,
and is
I,
it
I just know
4K?
it. I just know it said they have FPS boost and 4K. So
Also, come in the Game Pass, of course. If you don't have Game Pass and you own Rare Replay, you just get the game for free anyway, which is really fucking awesome. Because
yeah,
really, this game should have been in Rare Replay right away, but the 007 parent company is so stingy with it. Which may be why this isn't like a full remaster or a remake, is because they just didn't let them do more with it.
there is a fan remake online. I've seen
There
videos
is.
of in the past. That looks really
Yeah,
good.
yeah. But that an official remake would be so much better.
I agree. John, let's go over the quick news. Take me through them.
All right, so probably the biggest news to hit today is Fanbyte and G4 were hit by massive layoffs. Even though both parent companies seem to be doing pretty well, they just like look down on them and they're like, "Okay, we're eliminating a lot of your positions." So Fanbyte, Imran Khan, he's over in Japan right now covering Tokyo Game Show. He was sleeping and woke up to a message that he has been let go while in another country working for that company. So that's really shitty. There's also a lot of uh, whoever manages the Fanbyte social media. They jumped in there before like the higher ups like changed the passwords or stuff. So like they went on Instagram and they posted Tencent made $35 billion in net income last year and laid off almost every member of the child company Fanbyte. Please support the staff elsewhere. And they like also posted on Twitter, "Hey, you motherfuckers forgot the keys. I still am here." Something like that. Really petty shit that I'm all about. On the
Yeah.
G4 side, or from what I saw from the Fanbyte side, is that they're going away from news coverage. Like all the news people were let go. Like even an intern, it was their last week there, and they were let go. Like they wouldn't even
It
let
doesn't
them
make it does
finish out
doesn't
their
make
internship.
sense.
It looks like they're just going into guide coverage. As for G4, I saw a lot of showrunners were let go. I don't know of any of like the big names, but yeah, that was hit pretty massively as well. So
Yeah, it seemed
uh,
like a lot of producers and stuff for
yeah,
G4 were laid off, which really sucks.
yeah. So uh, hopefully, all those guys, everyone affected by this, will land on their feet and get some other better jobs here soon. But yeah, it just sucks. Overwatch 2 released some Battle Pass news. We were talking about this last week. They also revealed Kiriko, the new support hero. Uh, all hero unlocks, like we were talking about, are a part of the Battle Pass. Unless if you buy it, you get them for free. But if you're playing on the free tier, you have to get the level 55 to unlock the new hero, which kind of sucks.
It
Kiriko's
does suck, but like I see myself buying the battle pass just so I get all the unlocks, right? So
this one, but what about the next one that a hero comes out? Are you going to be playing then?
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
If I'm into it, I'll buy it.
yeah. It's only $10 a battle pass, so it's not a bad price or anything. And there's a new mythic skin, which is a new tier of skin where it's a lot more customizable. You can like switch out parts into it, which is cool. They're bringing in new seasonal events, which I've been championing for a while. Yeah, lots of little tidbits and stuff like that. So it it looks like a good battle pass. In all honesty, there's a
John,
lot of good
John,
content.
do you realize we're like 3 weeks away, 2.5 weeks away from
Hmm.
Overwatch? Has that set into you yet? Can
Oh
you
yeah,
feel that in your can you feel that in your stomach? You
I'm
feel them
very excited.
butterflies?
I'm very excited. It's one
That
of my
being
favorite
said,
games of all
John,
time.
on
Have you?
October 2nd, are we about to sunset Overwatch 1?
Yep.
Are we gonna be playing while the servers go down?
I will be probably. Yeah, Overwatch 1 servers are going down on October 2nd. They said it would be about 27 hours of downtime before Overwatch 2 completely takes over. So at that point, you might as well delete Overwatch 1 because it's going to be useless. You won't even be able to get into the menus for it. Yeah, Overwatch 2 will completely take over. Next up, Resident Evil 4 Remake is now coming to PlayStation 4 as well as current gen consoles, but not Xbox One. This is a very weird announcement. Originally, this was a next gen game only and PC, and then just out of nowhere, they're like, "Hey, it's also coming to PS4." But fuck you, Xbox One players. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know where that decision comes from.
That's it's probably because of the big player base that the PS4 has. But man, I'm I wonder just how well that version is gonna run. Like if it runs like shit, it's gonna be pretty interesting to see the fan outcry. Deathloop is finally coming to Xbox on September 20th, and it is bringing crossplay. I was very surprised that they didn't announce this
Yeah,
during the showcase they had a month or two ago. But it's good to finally see that, hey, it's on its way, and it's of course being on Game Pass. So I don't know if I'm gonna play through it again. Maybe I will. If I didn't see if there's a like a cross progression thing where I can just pull it over and like get
I
all the
doubt it.
achievements and everything, that would be awesome.
I
Xbox, come
doubt it.
on, work with me here.
But
Oh,
yeah,
that would be.
you I never beat the game. It's just not for me. I don't like games where you repeatedly go through the same areas over and over again. But I remember you saying when you beat it, there was like a really stupid thing at the end that you thought was funny. I don't
I was.
remember what it was. You never
It
told me
was
what it
real.
was.
It was really just I was so over it that I ended the game earlier than I think they intended me to, and that's what made me laugh.
Because like
Um,
it didn't make sense or something.
no, it made sense. I was just over it, and I was just pretty much I shot a character before I was supposed to, and that ended the story quickly.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, yeah. The Xbox app on PC now has How Long to Beat integration, which is really cool.
Awesome.
Uh,
This is so cool.
that's this is really cool. Hopefully, they can work on bringing this to Xbox consoles. So yeah, that's a really cool thing. The Sims 4 is going free to play. I didn't see when, but that's cool. You'll still have to pay like hundreds of dollars if you want to get all the expansions and everything. Advance Wars 1 and 2 is not canceled. There's just no new date set yet. and that game's got to be ready, but they delayed it when the Ukraine stuff started, and there's just been nothing on it since. Um, Bonnie Ross has left 343 Industries because of a family health emergency, so hopefully everything's fine there. She's left Xbox after 30 years of working with that company. But yeah,
It's
this is
wild.
the head of 343 Industries. She's been the head of like Halo Infinite, Halo 4, Halo 5, all Halo stuff within the last decade. Um, yeah,
It's fucked up, man. That game's in a bad place, and
Infinite,
it
yeah.
looks like it. I want to say Forge is the light at the end of the tunnel, but who the fuck knows at this point?
Yeah. I completely deleted it from my Xbox. I was like, I'm not playing this anytime soon. I'll reinstall it when it gets something that looks good. But right now, it's just stagnant. Future Ubisoft games are going to be $70, so they are making the jump to the higher price point. Although Assassin's Creed Mirage, which was officially revealed this last weekend, is a $50 game, which was interesting to me. But yeah, everything else like Skull and Bones is going to be $70 if you want to make a bad decision and buy that game.
Cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know how
I'm
excited you are
surprised.
for Skull and Bones.
I'm surprised Ubisoft didn't announce that like the day the first game came out for $70, right?
I
They're
just
very much like the like capitalist like company that just be like, you know what? Yeah, us too, $70. You know what? Fuck
yeah
you, $75 now. You talking
yeah
shit? All right, it's up to 80.
they let EA outdo them in that department. I can't believe that we still heard nothing about Prince of Persia if it was actually canceled or not. They're just still leaving that in
Yeah,
limbo and still no Beyond Good and Evil 2. That's insane to me.
yeah. Beyond Good and Evil 2 is either never gonna come out, or it's gonna come out and be garbage. Is my theory. Like Cyberpunk,
Yeah,
it's super controversial.
I guess.
But yeah, John,
I got a collectible. I got a
let's see your
collectible.
collectible. Let's see your collectible.
I got a Hylian Shield.
Nice.
Yeah,
Where'd you get
it's
that?
first four figures. Well, actually, I got this from GameStop, but it's from First Four Figures. Um, very excited to have this. Uh,
Was it on sale or something?
don't remember. I don't think so. But I think this is cheaper than like the version that they sell on the First Four Figures website because those are always like $200. This was like 85. So I think it's just a cheaper version. It wasn't necessarily on sale.
Gotcha.
Um, but yeah, it looks good, and I'm super excited to find a place for it. I need more shelves before I can put it up.
You got to put it right next to Majora's Mask behind you.
Yeah, but then I have to find a new place for Tracer, or one of the three Jack Skellingtons up there. I just need more shelves.
Cool. I do not have any collectibles, unfortunately. I showed Splatoon 3, physical game. So
Ooh, that's a
there
good
you go.
collectible.
Yeah, let's get into what we've been playing. I'm not gonna bore you too much. I played Destiny
Besides
2.
Splatoon 3.
I no, I played Destiny 2. I raided 2 nights ago with Connor Kopp again, raiding with us again.
I don't
Um,
think he exists anymore. I don't know.
no, he exists, but he only exists within Destiny 2.
Oh, okay.
Like
He's a goat.
if you want to talk to him anywhere else, impossible. I'm convinced that when I send him a text message to play Destiny 2, it's just sent directly to his Destiny messages, and that's how he sees them.
Probably, yeah. That makes sense.
So yeah, we did the King's Fall raid again. Good time. It was a bunch of fun. Other than that, I started a Plague Tale Innocence, John. I texted you yesterday.
Hey.
I'm gonna give a spoiler warning right now for the very beginning of the game. The
Oh.
first 10 minutes, John didn't
Oh.
fucking tell me that a dog gets
Leon!
slaughtered
Leon!
right at the
Yeah,
beginning of this game.
he gets eaten alive. Yeah. My boy
Like, what the
Leon.
fuck? It
Never
like brought me
forget.
down so much. And like I'm sitting there with my dog next to me on the couch and I'm looking at her and she's
The
like all perked.
whimpering.
She's all no, like Gwen's all perked up and looking around because she hears a
Mhm.
dog like crying on the TV.
Yeah. When
Like
he's just
Jesus Christ.
he's sitting there in the hole whimpering. You're like, oh, what's okay? And then you see the back of his legs are like all eaten up and everything. And then he gets pulled down.
Yeah.
Uh, it's so sad.
I played a lot of that game last night, John.
You
I
like it?
finished I finished 5 or 6 chapters, I think. I think I'm like a third of the way through the game because it's 17 chapters. Um, I guess it's been out long enough. Can I like say where I am in the game?
Yeah, go for it.
So spoilers if you plan on playing a Plague Tale Innocence. So I just got past the battlefield. The little brother got captured, Hugo, and we just escaped the camp. And that's
Okay.
where I stopped. Right, escaping the camp.
Then yeah, I'd guess you're about a third of the way through. Yeah, it's how do you like it? I like that game a lot. I think the story's great.
I
Except I'll warn you, the last chapter is really dumb. It's stupid. Just straight
okay.
up dumb.
Well, so I think graphically the game looks pretty great. Um, I like the gameplay of it, but it's very much like not my type of game, I would say. Like on paper, I would hate this game, right? Cuz it's the whole game is more or less an escort mission where you're sneaking around like 80% of the time, right? Cuz you're sneaking around like guards that are all trying to find you everywhere. And those are the kind of missions I hate the most in games. But I think this game does it in a way to make it kind of dumbed down, right? Because all the guards are insanely fucking stupid to where you can walk within a foot behind them and they won't know you were there. So I think, in my opinion, that helps the game. Like, cause
Mhm.
if these stealth, well, every mission's a stealth mission, right? At some point,
Essentially, yeah.
if these stealth missions were like way more difficult, I would have stopped playing a long time ago, just because I don't like stealth missions in games. That's just like it's just not what I like. I know like there's probably a lot of people that love stealth missions in games, and if you do, this is probably the game for you because the whole thing is stealth. Um, it's also just a giant escort mission where you like your little brother, right? You're just
Mm.
taking
Eh,
him somewhere. You don't know where at this point in
there's
the game that I'm at.
at least he's not following you though. You're joined at the hand,
You're
so
tethered. You're tethered
yeah.
to him.
So it's not as bad as some
One
escorts.
one thing I do like about it is that like you meet different people throughout the story, and each person you meet has like a different like ability, I guess you could say. Like, I just recently met up with a chick, and she can unlock chests and stuff. Uh, to be fair, like it's cool in the sense that they do different things, but like
They don't do
there's
it
gonna
enough.
yeah they don't do it enough. Like for instance, I'm trying to think of the last person I ran into. I don't know. But for instance, this chick is gonna unlock chests for me in like 2 chapters, 3 chapters, maybe. I don't know how long she's in the game. But at some point, she's gonna go away, and then I'm just not gonna be able to unlock chests the rest of the game. Um,
There,
be-
there's just not. There's not much point to it. In all honesty,
yeah,
that happens at most 3 times in the game.
yeah. Um, but yeah, you could definitely tell they're like playing around with like different mechanics and stuff, right?
Hmm.
In terms of like sending the kid to go unlock a door for you, distracting a guard, and then leaving the kid behind so that you can sneak and do something to distract the guard further so that the kid can come, stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying it. I'm planning on finishing it. I don't know when it leaves Game Pass though. That's the thing. If it leaves Game Pass before I beat it, I'm never gonna buy this game.
Yeah, better get on it.
I'm gonna look it up. Hold on.
Okay. I love that
Leave
game. I
Game
love the
Pass.
atmosphere. I love the story, except for the end.
Oh,
Boy,
John.
does it come out like? Does it
Yeah,
leave like tomorrow?
it leaves today.
Oh, you got to get the playing, man.
It probably already left. If it leaves September 15th, that might mean it already left. Oh
It might.
no.
If anything, I own it. I could just link up with you and give you it real quick.
Oh, well, that's all I've been playing.
All right.
I'm glad I just spent like 10 minutes talking about a Plague Tale Innocence to probably never play it again.
Yeah. So a large portion of what I've been playing has been Splatoon 3, but besides that, I got a little further into Cult of the Lamb, and yeah, I like this game. Um, I just beat the first boss, so I don't know, a quarter of the way through. I think there's only 4 bosses, and it's pretty cool. I feel like my cult is slowly growing. I kind of wish it was growing a little faster. It feels like it's taking a long time to really get any um upgrades, like substantial upgrades. I looked at the skill tree that they have, and there's like a lot of stuff, and I'm like, I don't see myself getting like half of this stuff with the way that this is progressing, but maybe it goes up faster and you get more skills like the more people you have and can get the I think they just call it faith, those like white balls that work as your experience bar. Yeah, I'm going to play more of it. I think the combat in it's really fun. And yeah, I'm not really much into roguelike games. I haven't died yet, so I don't know how this game does when you die. Is it have you died and seen what happens?
I don't think I've died yet. No, actually,
Okay,
no. I definitely died one time, but I wasn't far enough in the game to be able to tell what happened.
gotcha. Well, I haven't died. I did get an upgrade though that if I die once, I can automatically sacrifice a follower to get another shot.
Oh yeah, fuck those followers.
Yeah, so I've got that going for me.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think it's slow moving, but I'm enjoying the gameplay. So yeah, I'll probably talk about it more next week. Also, been playing a little bit more of Temtem. Not much because, like I said, Splatoon 3 kind of took over my life, but Temtem's fun. It's a little more strategic than Pokemon is. It does not have nearly the same amount of charm that Pokemon has, but it's a fun game. I think if there wasn't a Pokemon game coming out in 2 months, that I would probably be really hardcore into this game right now. But I'm kind of minimizing how much I play it just so I don't like burn myself out once Pokemon Scarlet and Violet comes out.
Cool. Yeah, Temtem, that's a game I told you. I tried getting a deal on it, couldn't find any deals, and I'm not about to spend like what is it, $40?
I think it was 40,
Yeah,
or like
that it just
35, something like that. Yeah.
doesn't seem worth it to me, but I would play
Not
it if
with
it was
not with the
cheaper or in Game
Pokemon game
Pass.
right around the corner. If this
Yeah.
was a Game Pass game, it would be perfect.
Yeah. All right, well, that's going to do it for episode 203 of the Pixel Street podcast. As always, follow us on Twitter at Pixel Street. Check out our YouTube channel by searching for Pixel Street videos on YouTube. Um, yeah, join the Discord server. You can find our pinned tweet on Twitter to join the Discord. We do Pal Party Nights every once in a while. We do giveaways on Twitter as well, so be on the lookout for that. You can find me on Twitter at Campo63 or twitch.tv/Campo63. John, where are you at on the World Wide Web?
On Twitter, I am at Rivik Shadows, and you can find my writing on GamePro.com. Today, there was a bunch of Call of Duty stuff that came out from that event. Lots of stuff. Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2.0, and Warzone Mobile are all coming. So yeah, check out all that we wrote about with that and some other games. Yeah, been a busy week. As for our YouTube channel, I'm not sure what I'm gonna put out this weekend. Maybe I'll finally convince Joel to do a Breath of the Wild stream, and we'll
I don't got time this
yeah,
weekend.
uh, whatever. He's never got time for me. He doesn't appreciate
Dude, I'm
me.
so busy, man. This has been like the busiest summer I've had in a long, long time.
All right,
But
but yeah,
we'll be right back here next week with episode 204 of the Pixel Street podcast.
bye.